America, we got another good one for you today.
Yes, sir.
We have an absolute legend. You understand me? We have a brother who has over 30 years, 30 years and broadcast experience. That's with WLPT, that's with WAPT, that's with Jackson State University. You understand me? We have a man who is currently the assistant AD for broadcasting and video services at Jackson State University. We have a man who will be inducted into the SWAC Hall of Fame this December 17th in the A-Town. You understand me? And he will be the only inductee who is not a player or coach. You understand? Now, listen, America. He is not only a SWAC Hall of Famer. He is not only a Central Mississippi legend. He is not only a Mississippi icon. This brother is one of the best to do it throughout the Southeast. I'm talking about the one, the only, Rob J.
Come on,
What's
man.
Going on,
Let's clap that up, man. Come on, man. Come on now.
Man, I'm like, who are you talking about? Ray, I'm like, who are you talking about?
Talking about you, man.
Talking about the man.
Talking about the man.
How you doing, brother?
That's nice, man. I appreciate that. That's really nice.
Rob, you deserve it.
Thank you, man, for coming on our show, man. This one is a treat for both of us, obviously. But man, to be able to bring you on, we cover SWAC heavy, man. In particular, we cover Jackson State heavy, and so what better person to bring on than the guy who, to me, is the real heartbeat of what's going on with that institution, man. So thank you for being on first and foremost.
Well, thank you for having me, Ray. You could be the one being interviewed, man. All the stuff that you do. But I really appreciate it, guys. I really do. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Look, we want to get right into it, Rob. Obviously, the thing that everybody wants to talk about is Jackson State football and Coach Prime. Rightly so, man. Rightly so. SWAC champions, back to prominence. For you, man, what's been the biggest difference in the Coach Prime era and those previous, what I like to call returns to glory, whether it be with Coach Kamaji, programs before? They have gotten back to prominence, but what's that difference, man? What's that different vibe that you feel with the current leadership and Coach Prime in this football program?
The biggest difference with him and the championship teams of the past for Jackson State, no doubt, has been the coverage, the publicity that Jackson State has gotten from this. I mean, I do the play-by-play for Jackson State on the radio, and we are on Sirius XM because of Deion Sanders.
It's crazy.
That has never happened. So every game is on Sirius XM, and he has Jackson State football on ESPN. I know he doesn't like ESPN 1, 2, or 3. He doesn't like that. I mean, hey, from where I started, from what I've seen, I'm cheering for it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's great, man. He's got a lot of publicity, and plus, he's bringing in a lot of money to Jackson State. Yeah, that's the main thing.
Must be the money. That's what he said.
That's what he said.
That's what he said. With all the fanfare and the media coverage and the tremendous enthusiasm that we've seen from the alumni, from the fan base in general, do you think some of that is going to carry over to the basketball programs? Like, I'm thinking about the girls team, the women's team, excuse me, and the dominance they've been showing the last couple of years. So do you think some of this enthusiasm for football is going to carry over to the other programs?
Yes, sir. It already has. I mean, and he has told the other coaches he'll help them recruit, and he has brought in a couple of good female basketball players. I think he got one transfer, I think, from Oregon or somewhere. I've been following football so much, I'm not sure, but he's helped bring in baseball players. He's helped bring in some players to the men's basketball team. So his influence has really brought a lot of attention to Jackson State, especially when it comes to these athletes, man. And he's talking about bringing in more and more talented football players. Because I was like, when I saw Senior Day last week, a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, oh, he leaving? James Houston leaving? I was like, oh, man, Jackson State going to be. But he said, look, I got some more guys coming in, much better. So, yeah, he's man. He like that picture that Marshall Ramsey wrote. He's King Midas. Whatever he touched turns to gold.
It's the truth, man. It's the truth. It's the truth, Rob. you've called some great games this season. There's been some exciting games. There's been some blowouts, but it's been some really hotly contested matchups, man. Where do some of these games rank in some of the greatest games you've called, and just kind of give our viewers, man, an idea of just some of those great Jackson State memories that you have from this year and from years past, man. Some of the things that come to mind for me, my wife loves talking about the Casey Terrio comeback versus Southern, right?
Exactly.
Give me some of your most fondest memories of Jackson State football.
Man, she's exactly right. That's what I wrote on the paper. Casey Terrio.
See?
Man, the Casey Terrio years were incredible. He didn't, win a SWAC title, but one of the other eras was when Jimmy Oliver beat Grambling in the SWAC championship. I mean, he was amazing. They brought him on. They let him start during the last few games of the year, and he was amazing. Seeing him play, and they were saying that he didn't know the playbook. He just told him to go out there and play. So with him, and you talk about just football, correct?
Yeah. I would listen. Anything. I'm saying football, but if you got some other memories that jump out to you, by all means, share it with us, man. We love to hear it.
Well, of course, snacks.
That's right. That's right.
That was it was amazing, not because of the game, because Jackson State they had a 20-point lead over Arkansas Pine Bluff, but the fact that he got in the game and hit a shot from near half court, because I said he's capable of hitting this shot, and he did. And going back to football was when Jackson State beat FAMU on a Hail Mary.
On a Hail Mary,
yeah. That was Coach. What was the name, Ray?
I can't. Harold Jackson.
Harold Jackson. And myself and Willie Richardson, man, we just went nuts over that. So because they weren't supposed to have a really good team during that time,
right?
But they threw a Hail Mary and won the game. So it's been some really, really good games. And I go back to some of the playoff games, which weren't good. I mean, Jackson State could have won some of those games, like against William Mary. Those were disappointing losses. It's been those games. Then they kind of outrank these games now because we were expecting Jackson State to beat these teams.
Sure.
Had they beat ULM, maybe that would have ranked high on my list, but they didn't. But I still think they did well to keep them out of the end zone.
Oh, by the way, you mentioned the name Willie Richardson, man. Respect, rest in peace to that legend as well. Y'all had some great calls, man. Just a great man. But the way that y'all interacted on the air, I know the friendship that y'all had, that man was special. So rest in peace to Mr. Willie Richardson on that one.
Oh yeah, man. You know how Willie used to cut up.
Yeah, man. Good man.
Ray, you wouldn't leave when you come over.
Man.
I said, go back to the station, man.
I just love to hear him talk, man. He had the best stories, and he had such a great sense of humor for somebody who was literally a living football legend on all levels. Just a humble human being, man. So he's, like I said, that's a voice that's missed to this day for sure. Yeah,
yes, sir. I wish he was here to see this. Jackson State going to the bowl game. Yeah, I wish he was here to see it.
No doubt.
Long live that brother. Long live that brother. You spoke to how you got a lot of guys leave, a lot of key guys that are leaving, and how Coach Prime is kind of anticipating having guys who can fill their shoes. Okay, I know he's been working the transfer portal real hard, especially. Do you think then, with his prowess for recruiting, that some of the PWIs in the state may start to see Jackson State as a threat, that they won't just be getting the dandy dozens, just already having them on lock like they would think going to Mississippi State, Ole Miss, and even Southern Miss when they used to grab some of the guys? Do you think they finally see Jackson State as a recruiting competitor now?
Man, that's an excellent question. You're exactly right. And it happened when Deion first got there. When Coach Prime first got there, I was in the room when they were having, their first big recruiting class, and he came in and he said that some people from the schools, I don't know who they were, but I don't know if they were coaches or whatever, but we're telling the recruits, you don't want to go there. They don't have the facilities. They don't have this, they don't have that. And I think they are field threat, no doubt about it. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Man, and they should, rightly so. What Coach Prime and his staff are putting together, man. With the buy-in that he's gotten from that fan base, from that alumni base, he's gonna do some great.
And with the NIL stuff, you can still get your money if they're concerned about notoriety and stuff like that. You got a docu-series with this guy right here.
Yes.
ESPN is gonna if you do something big, he's got so many friends there, or Skip and Shannon. I know they do segments on him. You can get some notoriety and get your NIL deal, get some money. So
that's right. Yeah, and with this bowl game, the Cricket Celebration Bowl, it's going to be on ABC. So this will give some of those guys a chance to showcase, like James Houston. I think he's going pro, no doubt about it. You got Aubrey Miller. You got some of these receivers. Now, Malachi Wyman, he's a freshman. Yeah. So I don't know if he's coming back. And man, and Shedeur Sanders, he is an excellent, excellent quarterback. I think he should have got more recognition when it came to this Connolly Trophy. And speaking of that, you already know who's going to win that. That's the easiest trophy to say who's going to win it. Whoever is the best team between Mississippi State and Ole Miss.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Shedeur, man, and the reason I say, I know everybody said, you Jackson State, but Shedeur can play with any team in the country.
Speak on it, man. That's the truth.
He can, man. He can play with not just because he's Deion's son. This guy can play. And I asked him, I was like, what did you get your training from? And he said he learned from he got tips from Peyton Manning and Brett Favre and Tom the Cheetah Brady.
Thank you, sir. I've been trying to tell folks on this show. I appreciate y'all heard that from the legend, right? Okay.
That's ridiculous.
All right. Caesar, you got it.
Rob, when we introduce you, man, we let people know about your great career, man, and it's not being capped off because you're not done, but you're going into the SWAC Hall of Fame, man. For me, when I hear that, I say good. About time, rightly so. When you hear Rob J. SWAC Hall of Fame, what does that mean to you, man?
Well, first of all, I can't believe it. I didn't even know that they put broadcasters in there. And Ray, and guys, this was my first thing. When Dr. Walter Reed called me and asked me, he said, man, I want to put your name in consideration for a SWAC Hall of Fame. The first thing I said was, Dr. Reed, I don't want to take a spot away from nobody. I don't want to do that, man. I said, he said, no, just send me, just send me some information. I said, I don't want anybody to get mad. I don't want. So when I gave him the information, I sent him the information. I didn't think anything else about it. I really didn't until a lady from the SWAC called and said, you will be inducted to the SWAC Hall of Fame. I thought she was playing. And man, that's the biggest honor I've ever had to be in the SWAC Hall of Fame, because I have been covering the SWAC a long, long time. But like I said, it makes me feel good that somebody is honoring me for the work that I did. I mean, that they paid attention to the stuff that I did. I didn't even, I just go out and do stories, do crazy stuff, do stories, and that's it. And I'm done. But no, it's great, man. And we just came back from Atlanta today, and the ceremony is next week. So I still can't believe it. I really can't.
Wow, man.
Well, America, I'm telling y'all right now, y'all see the shirt that's on my chest. When I tell y'all to book it, y'all need to book it. Rob J., the legendary Rob J., will also be inducted into the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame. I'm calling that right now.
Come on, no.
Book it.
It needs to happen, America. I know we're talking about Mississippi, but America, it needs to happen.
Got to. I'm a former teacher, and when I used to try to give my kids game about other jobs and stuff like that, I tell them about my brother, of course, and he comes and spoke to my kids sometime. But when I talked about print media and sports, I would talk about Rick Cleveland. If I was talking about on air, it was you that I was trying to use to inspire you and my brother. That I was trying to use to inspire these kids who they were good at sports. But, everybody think they're going to the NBA, NFL, and they don't realize how incredibly hard that is. So you try to give them some game on. You can still love sports and make a good living for yourself covering it. And so I would point to you and my brother. So I'm saying it. Book it right now. Rob J. for Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame.
Needs to happen.
Right. Before that happened, I'll be like this. I don't
posthumously Rob J. into the Mississippi Sports.
Well, we gonna give you your flowers while you're here.
Man, I love it.
What's your preview for the Celebration Bowl? We did a segment on it, and I had my brothers were kind of turning up a little bit, and I had to tell them to be humble because we looked at South Carolina State and We saw the game between them and Alabama A&M, and them, and I want to say that was FAMU, and FAMU kind of beat the doors off of them. So we had to say, hey, we need to be humble now. Be humble. So what are your thoughts on the upcoming game? Do you think Jackson State will finish their food?
I think today Jackson State, they are 15-point favorites over South Carolina State. Okay. If Jackson State plays like they did against Alabama A&M, I think it'll be a blowout. Ooh. Now South Carolina State is not that bad. I mean, they're undefeated in their conference, and they're only 6 teams in the MEAC, 5 or 6 teams in there. Right. But I think Jackson State is tested. The road tested. They've had more tests than South Carolina State. I'm looking at maybe a double-digit win, maybe about 14, 17 points, I think.
Okay. Y'all heard from the legend himself. Now, before we get to these quick hitters that are very fun, I just got to ask you this, because I watched every single Jackson State game this year, and going all the way back to the spring, been really locked in. Since we've been covering, I've been locked in. And so I've heard you and your colleague on the show, and I just got to ask, why does that brother call you coach? Because I was wondering, if I missed it, I was wondering, did Rob J, was he a coach as well? Because I'm a former coach, and that's a fraternity. So right. if you're a coach, I want to call you coach too. So
Coach J, okay.
Yeah, right. I got to do that. If you're a coach.
Rob, are you a former coach?
Let me set the record straight. Daryl Asbury calls everybody coach. He calls his mama coach. He called his sister coach. He called everybody coach. So when we first started, and like he'll say, hey, coach, and it's not coach, it's coach, C-O. So Ray, I wanted to tell him, no, man, don't say coach. But that was his little thing, and I just let him go ahead.
I love it. I love my wife and I, man. It's the best thing, because you've told me that story before. I didn't want to say anything to Wells. Like, you've told me that he literally calls everybody coach. I'll never forget. I was listening to your radio show one night, and somebody called in, was complaining about him calling. They said, man, and you were like, man, what's your problem? Why you got a problem with that? Don't listen if you don't. You know what I mean? Like, I did, man. So it was, dude. I get it. Coach Asbury, but he does such a good job with you, man. He came in and just filled Coach Richardson's shoes to me quite well, man. Y'all just got great chemistry. I think that's what makes the broadcast special too, man. Y'all have y'all have such a great chemistry. It's to the point in our house, man, where like we watch the game, but we mute it and we listen to y'all. But it's kind of tricky. My wife has gotten into a science where she will backtrack the game, because y'all are ahead, obviously. And the game is on delay. So she's got into a science where she can backtrack and listen to y'all while the game is going on.
Is that right?
So that's how special the broadcast is to not just my wife, but like to Jackson State fans across this country, man. Wow. Y'all do a special job with that.
Man, that's good to know, man. I really appreciate it. And she's always, man, she's been one of my biggest supporters.
Oh, dude. Remember, you can't say nothing bad about Rob J in my house. We ain't doing that no way, but can't nobody else come in here and say it in it. So that's just what it is, man. That's what it is, yeah. Yeah,
man. She won a prize when I was at WLBT. She won a prize on WLBT. Yeah. And when she came to pick it up, somebody said, hey, her husband works at Channel 16. We can't give her that. I said, a lie? She won that fan square.
She's a strong supporter of Rob J, man. She is. So that's the love you get in our house, man. You know that's real on this side, man.
Man, sure. I really appreciate that, man. Yeah. And speaking of Asbury, he won the state championship today.
Is that right? Over in Louisiana, that's right.
Yeah, he coaches Southern Lab High School, and they won the state championship today.
Respect, coach. Respect, coach. Respect.
Coach won.
Hey, we got to get Coach on here too, man.
Yeah, we got to get Coach on here. Okay. Coach be breaking it down during the game. You know what I'm saying? We be analyzing the game and everything like that. Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, don't want to hold you long, so I'll just want to do these quick hitters. They're fun, and we love to do these with everybody we have on. All right, so put you on the spot real quick. We talked about Casey Terrio earlier, and shout out to Casey Terrio. Salute to that brother. He's been on before. If you haven't seen that interview, y'all go back and check that out, America. But who you got? Robert Kent or Casey Terrio?
Wow.
Casey Terrio.
Oh, he didn't hesitate.
No, he didn't.
Did not hesitate whatsoever.
Really?
The White Tiger. Casey, you heard it.
Casey Terrio. He was accurate. I mean, Kent was too. Kent was tough. Kent had a strong arm. But if I had to pick one, it'll be Casey.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I got a quick hitter.
Okay.
Outside of Jackson State, so you cannot pick Jackson State.
Okay.
Outside of Jackson State, who has the toughest band in the SWAC?
Southern University.
No hesitation
There
again.
it is. No hesitation again.
Okay. All right.
That would have been my number 2 pick, but they can't rock with the boom. So America, don't think we're going against the hometown.
Right.
It's the sonic boom of the South first, and then the human jukebox.
Exactly.
All right. Who's higher in your all-time NFL ranking? Now, I know they play different positions, but we were comparing 2 greats, and you just had to rank NFL greats. Who's higher in your all-time ranking? Walter Payton or Coach Prime?
Don't get him in trouble. Don't get him in trouble, man.
Walter Payton, sweetness.
There it is.
Walter Payton is the only person jersey that I would wear other than the Chiefs jersey.
Wow.
I got one in there right now. I was proud to rock it. I was down in undergrad at USC. I'm still rocking that old throwback, Walter Payton.
Not just the GOAT running back, man. Still, to me, the greatest player of all time. For me personally.
No, I agree.
The real deal.
And that's coming from a Cowboy fan, America.
Yeah,
I know he got Emmitt Smith over there, but he's still rocking
Walter Payton's the GOAT.
And he always tells me that. So that's not just on air. He always tells me that.
Yeah.
All right, and we ask everybody this one.
I can't wait for this one.
We think that this one says a lot about the character of a man.
Well, watch this. Go ahead.
Who you got, Jordan or LeBron?
Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan.
Put him in the Hall of Fame tonight, Mississippi.
Come on, man. Michael Jordan, it ain't even close.
Oh, there it is. Put him in the Hall tonight, Mississippi. Matter of fact, nationwide. I don't know what the Hall of Fame is for the sports media or whatever. ESPN, get a man an ESPY.
I'm poking at pride. Now, Rob, what you got? What problem you got with LeBron, man?
Look at him being messy.
Huh?
Look at him.
You know my issue with him. You know my issue with him. When he came to Jackson. Now this has nothing to do with basketball skills.
Nothing to do with it, America.
He came to Jackson.
I've heard this.
You heard this? He treated. I'm gonna tell you. I had a little intern who was an intern in Mississippi Valley. His name was Mike. Mm-hmm. So I was on the air that night, and they told me that LeBron James his plane was gonna come in at 6:00. And I said, Mike, you go out there and interview him and take photog with you. So Mike was excited, big LeBron James fan. I said, Mike, calm down now. I said, now these guys may be arrogant. He may not be, but I'm just saying, just be prepared just in case.
Yeah.
So after I got through doing the sports, I went out there to River Hills Club. So the guys with the other station said, hey, man, you need to check on your intern. I said, what happened? He said, LeBron James gave him the Heisman Trophy. I said, gave him the Heisman Trophy? What's that? He said, when he interviewed, asked him a question, he did this. So I snuck a camera in there, and LeBron James, he was very arrogant. He was super arrogant, man. Yeah. But that was in his early days. He may be better now. He may be better now. But like I said, I still think Michael Jordan was better. I would pick Michael Jordan.
No doubt. No doubt about it. Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady. I'm just playing. We done. I'm just playing.
No, I would love to hear that. I be trying to tell folk now that people say I'm tearing down statues.
Well, you do. You do though. You do tear down statues.
They say I tear down statues when I say
Tom Brady is by far.
He's Emmitt Smith.
Oh,
he's what Emmitt Smith is. Emmitt was blessed to have that line. Tom Brady been blessed his whole career to have all these defenses. And now he's blessed to have all those skill guys.
What were the Buccaneers before Tom Brady showed up? Some pirates.
They were a good team with a guy who was half blind throwing 30 picks. So they just needed a guy who was serviceable. Jameis was half blind.
You see what I deal with?
They just needed somebody that was serviceable.
I'm outnumbered right now, so I can't say nothing.
But Ray, you can't root for Tom Brady.
No. I don't root for him, but I can't be blind either, man. Mm-hmm. That's all.
I just with the scandals, with deflating the balls and all of that. I can't.
That's Rob thing right there, Will. See, he deflated balls. He
they spied on somebody. I just can't. I can't. But he is good. He's good though. He's good. He's a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback.
Well, America, I'm glad y'all got to witness this treat for us.
No doubt.
This was an honor and absolute pleasure to interview future SWAC Hall of Famer. And when I say future, we talking about a matter of days.
Yeah, man.
Future Mississippi Sports Hall of Famer. I told y'all to book it now, okay? And we appreciate you, sir, for everything you've done for the state. Again, as I was growing up, you one of the most entertaining and informative faces, and for you to be a brother, you know what I'm saying, to see you on the news and stuff like that growing up in my household, whether at my mama house or my grandmama house, it was Rob J for sports. So
well, look, Rob, I mean, I'll take it a step further. When I was coming up, I knew that I wanted to do something in sports. I was always writing down stats in my notepad, and I wish I could find a notepad. This is a true story, Rob. I wrote down when I was about to graduate, I knew I wanted to do something with sports. And I said, if I'm going to be in TV, I want to be the next Rob J. I wrote that in a notepad. That's the truth.
You got the
so
he
you know, told me that.
So, you know, you and I, we have all these dialogues, and Rob knows that he's special to me, but I just wanted to get a man his flowers on camera. You have been an inspiration to me. You know, you're a mentor. You know, you're a friend. But you were that guy that kind of set the standard, man, of what it should look like for people who look like us to go on and show everyone and anyone that we could do it at the highest of levels, man. That's why I say utmost respect to you, brother.
Well, and the same with you, Ray. I thought you might have got out of it a little bit too soon. Because
I got it at the right time, Rob.
I thought you know, because like you said, in 1 minute, black guys doing it, and you were really, really good at it. Now there were some other guys who came along, you know, they were kind of shaky. you were really good at it, man. I kind of missed you when you left. So I know you had other things that you wanted to do, and people don't realize, man, with sports you have to do everything. You got to shoot it, write it, produce it, everything by yourself. So and that kind of got old, and that'll burn you out a little bit.
Yeah, man. That's why you the GOAT, Rob. Cause you still doing it, man, and you do it. Whether you do it on TV, on the radio, man, you are the GOAT, bro. So we appreciate you for that, man. We appreciate you.
No doubt about it. Appreciate you.
Good, man.
My kids wanted me to tell y'all to make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me across all social media platforms, like the videos, and share them. Did I forget anything?
And turn on the post notifications.
Y'all heard them. And also, visit Statement Tees, LLC.com, and shop with us. That's Statement Tees. Every t-shirt you wear
makes a statement.